Okay, so normally we end our dinner by sharing with you the story kung paano kami napunta dito. Gusto ko lang na malaman nyo, wala talaga sa plano ang Bukidnon. And all of this never came to my mind. Alam mo, panaginip yung ganon. So this is much bigger than whatever I've dreamed of before. But anyway, let me just start. Siguro ang kwento niya, no, nagsimula in 1995. HP took us kasi I used to work for the distributor. 1995, they brought us into HP. And kung maganda yung promise. More perks, more tools, mga ganon. And one of the shocking nun, sabi nila, will make you very productive so that you don't have to be so stressed. Binigyan ako ng pager, meron akong cellphone, meron akong notebook, meron kang... So, hindi pala maganda yon. Because when they make you productive, they make everybody productive. So, mamaya yung email mo, ang dami-dami. So, hindi pa rin talaga siya light. And then, work became so, grabe siya because it was a startup. And I would work, I would work 10 to 12 hours a day. Wala pa traffic yun. We live in United Parañaque 2. Kung lang yan, 12 kilometers yan. 2 hours, one way. And when it was nice, si Peachy never nags me. When I come home, sabihin lang niya, hinahanap ka ng mga anak mo. So, that became a burden. Pero ako, I was able to work properly kasi nga si Peachy would not complain. Pero andun na yung burden. So towards the end of 1996, I wanted to resign. Sabi ko, ayoko yung, pag mamatay ka na, sabihin mo sarili mo, sana, I spend more time with my family. So I was ready to resign 1996. And then, promote nila ako. I became assistant country manager of the division. And ang boss ko taga na si Singapore because he was a transition country manager. And sabi ko, okay to, kasi if I'm now the boss, I can change the system, simplify it. Pagdating ng 1997, hindi ko masimplify because of the ways of the Singaporeans. They're workaholic, iba yan sila, matipid, kuripot yan sila, hindi ko siya mapasimplify. But at the same time, pagdating ng January 1997, I all of a sudden felt this question from the Lord. Kung attend ako Bible study, feeling ko yun, tinatanong ni God, nakinig ako ng Bible study sa radio, yun pa rin. Ang tanong niya, what's between you and me? What's preventing you from giving me your life? Parang ganon. Simple lang yon. Trabaho. Maski long hours siya, I enjoyed my job eh. Ang rason, you see, alam mo, enjoy ka pag you're performing. And our business was so complicated. It's test and measurement. Wala masyado nakakaintindi niyan. It's a highly technical. Hindi siya computer, hindi siya printer. Highly technical. So ako alam ko yun. I was relatively successful. So, yung burden na yon kept coming. I don't know if it was February or April. Finally, sabi ko kay God, sige Lord, I will go where you want me to go. I will do what you want me to do. Sabi ko, tantanan mo lang ako. Tama na. Pero hindi ko alam ano pinagsasabi ko. Okay? Pagkasabi ko noon, the following day, pagpasok ko sa opisina, pagkita ko sa opisina, nasusuka ako, literally. All of a sudden, I lost the joy of work. When I lost the joy of work, doon ako nag-struggle. Saan ako pupunta? Kasi 1997, di siya ni Kanak may collapse, tatanggalan sila ng mga kwan. I was assistant country manager, hindi mo ako tinatanggal. So I really struggled with the Lord. Hindi ko alam saan pupunta. Ko, Lord, bakit ngayon? So the struggle went on for a long time. And kaya ako nagtatrabaho, I just did not want to be a bad witness. Ano mo, wala ka ng gana na, tapos siya ni Kanak may collapse. So yun ang struggle ko with God until July of 1997 came. Yung sinabi ko sa inyo, I was jogging in our subdivision after one round, yung Walkman ko, natawa kayo sa Walkman, kala nyo, ganun kayo kabata. Yung Walkman ko started to turn off. Let's turn it on, run, turns off again. So sabi ko sa mind ko, baka kakusapin ako ni God. Pero alam mo, biro ko lang yun sa sarili ko. Baka kusapin ako ni God. And again, sa akin impression, I was nobody in our church. I used to go to CCF. Minsan nga, hindi pa ako maka-attend ng care group tawag namin doon. Hindi pa ako maka-attend, struggle because of work. So, gano'n lang yung impression. Until I turned it off, started to run. Then I heard the voice dito sa likod nito. I remember sa right. Sabi ng boses, leave. It was very, very clear. Pagtingin ko sa kalye, walang tao. And that's the reason I ran again. I ran home. Nagsumo ko sa misis ko. Sabi ko, nakarinig ako ng boses. The voice said, leave. Of course, my wife, I don't know kung naniwala siya. Pero I cannot act on the voice. Kasi hindi mo alam kung saan galing yung boses eh. And some people would even say, ingat ka ha. Kasi nga, bakit naman akong kakausapin ni God? So what I did, I asked God for 3 signs. Started with July of 1997, sabi ko kay God, Lord, alam ko hindi ako kukota. If you want me to leave, let me hit my target so that nobody will accuse me of abandoning them during hard times. So, this bad witness. Isa yon. Yung second, sabi ko kay God, pagdating ng August, merong 2 manager, isa from the US, isa from Singapore. Linapitan ako, sabi na, it's been confirmed. You're going to be promoted next year. I will become full country manager. Yun yung dream ko. Ang dream ko talaga, maging GM ng HP Philippines. Below the GM are 3 country managers. Magiging country manager ako, so that would be a step closer. So sabi ko ay God, naman Lord, pag promote mo ako, bigyan lang ako maraming pera, bigyan lang ako ng perks, hindi ako aalis, makukonfuse ako. So wag mo ko i-promote. Okay, so it will be weird prayer, pero wag mo ko i-promote. Tapos my financial habits then was extremely bad. Tomorrow, I'll teach you how to manage your money. It's just so different from the way I managed before. Kasi nga, may 15, may 30. Okay lang maubos ang 30, may 15, may 15. Tapos, I was in sales, so may commission pa ako. So, parati ako walang pera. So, yung misis ko, because of that, ang tipid-tipid ng misis ko kasi feeling niya maghihirap kami. You see, my wife, when she was not yet married, kanyan siya, lahat ng gamit niya, branded. Okay, kung magregalo yan, maganda. Nung nag-asawa kami, lahat yung binago niya. Kasi kala niya, ubusin ko pera namin eh. Wala akong savings. So sabi ko kay God, Lord, I will forfeit my retirement. Pwede ba give me 4 months worth of my salary? Hindi ko alam kung paano, baka siguro after 4 months, makakita ako ng opportunity. And ito na, October came. October is the last month of our fiscal year. Ang fiscal year namin, November to October. That October, ang kulang ko, $1 million. It was a quota for a quarter. Kung na kami noon, even during the time, I would do values formation for my people. So our group would pray. We were praying, sana we hit quota. Imagine na, kulang ko $1 million. And so we were still hopeful. Tatama kami. First 27 days, ang benta namin, $58,000. Lapit, no? Konti na lang, no? Quota na, no? Di ba? So that evening, buwi ako, sabi ko kay Pichi, mali yung boses. It's impossible for me to hit quota in 4 days. We're staying. Pero pagdating ng October 28, pagdating ko sa opisina, yung fax machine namin, hindi nyo na naman alam kung ano yung fax machine namin. Yung fax machine namin started to print out one purchase order after another. Hindi malaking benta, maraming sunod-sunod na benta. Tapos people would call me, sabihin na, Dong, nasaan ang tao mo? Kailangan ko bumili this month. Ano, parang sila nag-uubos ng pera. Ba't ito sa October? So, gulo-gulo namin doon. Ang dami pumapasok na benta. Yung order processing namin, hinutel ko na, wag na kayong umuwi. So, we were processing so many orders. In 4 days, we sold $2 million. Wow. Double than may quota. Alam mong hindi galing sa'yo. We finished second best in Southeast Asia. There were only 3 countries who met target. We were number 2. In spite of that, hindi ako na-promote. And then, ang bonus ko, magkano bonus mo? 4 months worth of my salary. Nung nangyari yun, sabi ko sa kanya, I need to resign. Otherwise, I will sin against God. Sabi ni Peachy, saan tayo pupunta? Kasi alam ko na nagko-collapse ang economy ng Manila eh. Kasi hindi pwede Luzon. And then I was checking before that, sabi hindi pwede Visayas, samahan sa Visayas. So in my mind, punta tayo sa isang lugar na mapapahaba yung pera natin. Because the only asset we had then was a house. We had a house then na pag binenta na, ko, yan ang pangpuhunan natin. So, tinanong niya ako, saan tayo pupunta? Sabi ko, Cagayan de Oro. Pero, problema, we've never been to Cagayan de Oro. The only reason sinabi ko sa Cagayan de Oro, Kasi it was the least progressive place in the three areas where Christians are safe. Davao, Jensan, Cagayan de Oro. In my mind, Cagayan de Oro pinaka-backward. Siguro hahaba pera natin doon. Yun lang yun. Pero problema, wala kaming kilala sa Cagayan de Oro. And we've never been to Cagayan de Oro. So ginawa namin, naghanap kami ng pwedeng mag-host, yung kaibigan, until she found out na yung in-laws yung parents ng sister-in-law niya, kapatid ng brother niya, were from Cagayan de Oro.
Kapatid na wa.
Kapatid, wife ng brother niya. Okay? Anyway. So they offered to host. So, and then, alam niyo yung November 30, di ba holiday yan? Tumama yun on a Thursday. So, it would be a long weekend. So, doon kami nagplano. Thursday para bakas ako na hindi masyado mag-absent, no? But anyway, before we came, I was telling God, Lord, let my wife choose the place or let my wife confirm. You know, I've learned my lesson already. Pag kinukontra ko siya, pati ako nagkakamali, so sabi ko, let my wife choose the place. Pero hindi ko sinabi sa kanya. Yun lang in my mind. So pagdating namin, sinundo kami, excited yung host. Ang ginawa sa kanya, the first thing they did was bring her to Madness Sale sa isang maliit na mall. Alam mo, yun yung iniiwasan sa Manila. Ayaw na namin ng mga ganon. Doon siya dinala. So, nung gabi pag-uwi niya, sabi niya, ayoko ng Cagayan de Oro. Sabi ko, patay. Wala na. Diba, goodbye. Bakasyon na lang tayo nito. Because I don't know where Bukidnon is. Pero of course, the family was asking, what do you want to do? Sabi ko, siguro farming, kung lang yun, mga typical yun ng plano, di ba? Farming, mga ganyan. So, syempre, yung mga kaibigan nila na-excite kasi magbibenta ng lupa eh. Di ba? May bibili ng lupa nila. So, they offered to bring us around on that Saturday. Pero in my mind, pasyal na lang to. Kasi magbibenta sila ng lupa. So, akyat kami dito. I remember, dito kami unang dumaan dyan sa palengke na, ito yung puntahan yung palengke. Dati, ang palengke niya, kasi laki lang ng similya yan. That was it, maliit yan. Pero ito sa Saturday, so Tabo Day, sinasabi ko sa inyo, Market Day.
Walang building noon. It was just open bamboo tables.
Talipapasa. May naghihila ng kabing, may nagdadala ng manok. So natuwa siya kasi magbabarter sila, magti-trade sila eh. So dumaan kami dyan, pinakitaan kami ng lupa, 40 hectares. Ako, wow, hindi ko wala makita yung dulo ng 40 hectares. Yung gano'n, no? Na-overwhelm kami. Of course, hindi naman namin siya, bibili kami. So sabi, sige, dalhin namin kayo sa Balay-Balay. So they were offering land. So, punta kami ng Balay-Balay. Dumaan kami sa Sumilao. Sumilao is a place na may sigsag, kala mo Baguio. So she was beside me. Sabi niya, you know, it would be nice to live in a place like this. So in my mind, Bukidnon, ang gusto ni God. Kasi miraculous, she wants to live in a place like this. Kasi, born in Pasay, grew up in Makati, worked in New York. For her to want Bukidnon, di ba weird yun? Si Peachy is an interior designer. That's the reason for that. And she worked in New York to do that. So, di ba, yun ang mo, gusto mo, Bukidnon. Pag uwi namin, I typed my resignation, email it to my boss, resign na ako. But I did not resign because of Bukidnon. I resigned because I did not want to sin against God. Bahala na ito. Because sinagot ako eh. Alam mo, I resigned, my boss never told me. Di ba, Norman, tatamad ka mag-resign. My boss never told me. I'll tell you mamaya ano nangyari. Pero, habang andun ako, the only person who know na nag-resign ako, GM namin. So, alam niya. Tapos, that month, grabe lahat ng hingi ko sa kumpanya. Binibigay nila. Lahat ng hingi ko kay God, sinasagot niya. So, yung kumpanya, hindi ko alam kung tuwang-tuwa silang paalis ako or... You know, I remember kung Christmas party. Alam mo, malas talaga ako sa raffle. The best that I won in a Christmas party, in a raffle, was instant noodles. Mananalo ka lang, instant noodles. Pagkatapos, so sabi ko kay God, Lord, you know, the company has been very kind to me. Bigyan mo naman ako ng souvenir. gusto ko yung first prize. The first prize was a colored TV. So anyway, andun kami, we were praying, the children were very small, we were praying. So alam na namin mananalo kami ng first prize. So ang ginawa pa nila, para hindi unfair, ang unang kinuha, major raffle. Kasi di ba minsan unfair sa raffle, kumuha ka na, ibabalik mo yung luma, di ba? Kinuha nila, major prizes. So meron na yon. So we were joking, sinasabi ko dun sa GM, amin yan, pero yun yung private joke namin. Tapos, the major raffle na. Sa major prize, they decided not to call the name, but the employee number. So, pagtawag niya ako, parang kilala ko yun. Nanalo ko first prize. The first time nanalo ko. Yung TV na yun, yung nakita yung TV sa container ba? Andun pa rin siya. It's my souvenir. Okay? So, ganon. So, yung boss ko naman, tinawagan ko. December 19, sabi ko, wala ba tayong transition? I'm taking all my leave. So, alis na ako, hindi na ako babalik. Wala siyang plano pumunta sa Pilipinas. Feeling niya, binabluff siya. Hindi na ako pre-promote eh. Baka feeling niya, nagtampo ko eh. Pero happy ako na hindi niya ako tinawagan. Kasi baka i-convince niya ako eh. So, hindi talaga kami nag-usap. Wala na akong trabaho. January 1, wala na akong trabaho. And kaya ako naniniwala, huwag ka magre-retire. Kasi nung parang gano'n, retire ako, parang nababaliw ako ng isang buwan. Hindi mo alam, kasi sanay na sanay ka eh. Para akong trumpo, hindi ko alam anong gagawin. Until February. February, may couple seminar na ginawa ang CCF. And malit pa nun ng CCF, sabi ni Peter Tanchi, gusto mo pumunta ng Bukidnon, tumulong ka doon. So we did. Okay? Tulong kami sa Cagayan. After that, akit kami sa Bukidnon, naghahanap na kami ng opportunity. When I was looking around, sabi ko hindi pwede crop farming, naglalaro ang presyo niyan. Dapat contract growing. Pero problema sa contract growing, ang laki ng investment. Pero never mind, testing lang naman. So lahat ng chicken farm sarado, they were not taking in more growers. The only group open was Monterey. So punta kami sa Malaybalay, we talked to them. So, siyempre, habang nag-uusap, kala mo may pera ka. Okay? Sabi nila, you need 13 million to put up the facility. Facility pa lang, wala pang lupa, wala pang kuryente, facility pa lang, 13 million. So, siyempre, kung magsalita ako, kala mo may access ka sa 13 million, no? Hindi ko sinabi, ang pera ko, 4 months worth of my salary lang. So, mamit, tumayo si Pichi, umalis si Pichi. Nakabuli mo. Umalis siya. Finally, natapos kami sa kubit ko, umalis. Kinikilabutan ako sa pinagsasabi mo. Kala mo may pera ka. Sabi ko, siyempre, kunwari, hindi tayo kakausapin eh. Nagdadagdag ka. So, ito sinabi nila sa akin. 13 million to put up the facility. They assume you have land. Wala kami pang lupa. So, ibig sabihin, more than 13 million. 8 months to work on to look for land. Kasi babuyan eh. Walang taong gusto may babuyan sa palibot nila eh. Kasi mabaho, di ba? 8 months to look for land, 4 months to work on the permit. Yung permit madugo. Mayor yan. Lagayan yan. So in my mind, sabi ko, wow, ang hiningi ko kay God, 4 months lang. Mali. Sabi ko, in 4 months, baka makita ko ng kwantas, 4 months of my salary lang. Wala pang 1 million yun. Okay? So sabi ko, mali talaga. So sabi ko kay Pichi, we're not for Bukidnon. There's no way we can go to Bukidnon. And even if we can borrow money, hindi natin kaya. Ang interest rate nun nasa 18%, 18 to 20. Okay? Kakainin ka ng bangko. So pag-uwi namin, that was the first time nag-sing sa akin, ano tong ginawa ko? Kasi may pamilya akong bubuhayin, paano ko sila bubuhayin? Sabi ko kay God, Lord, magtatrabaho ba uli ako? So when I was struggling, I opened the classified ads, nakalagay doon trabaho ko sa HP. Sabi ko kay God, nuloko mo ko, Lord. Pero hindi ko talaga alam ano gagawin. Parang all of a sudden, nagsara lahat. So that was the first time na I stayed home and just prayed. Hindi ako lumabas, parang I felt bad kasi siguro sasabihin ng nanay ng misis ko, ano gagawin ko? So 2 weeks sa bahay lang ako. Until Monterey called. 2 weeks after Monterey called, sabi nila, sigurado ka ba gusto mo magtayo ng babuyan? Apparently, El Nino nun eh. Walang gusto, masama ang presyo, walang gusto, walang nag-offer. Parang ako lang lumapit sa kanila. Sabi ko, pero wala akong lupa eh. Sabi na, meron kaming partner. May lupa na, tumatakbo na yung permit, and then binibenta niya. Ibig sabihin, nakita yung lupa for many months, tumatakbo na yung permit, inahayos niya na, binibenta niya. Gusto niyo bang makita? Sabi ko, syempre. Di ba? Tingnan natin. So, pagpunta ko dito, when you know, when you go there, sabi sa akin ng kaibigan ko, dati malamig pa masyado dito, sabi ng kaibigan ko, Dok, 20 pesos na lang doon, nasa langit po tayo. Kasi mataas during the time. Tapos, pagi pa, parang gano'n, no? Tapos, pero ang hirap puntahan, yung lugar remote na remote. In fact, most people would tell me, paano mo naman nakita tong lupa na to? So, in-offer sa amin, no? So, kausap ko yung nagbibenta. Kaya niya binibenta, tatakbo siyang mayor. Gusto na lang niya yung pera. So, tinanong ko siya, kailan mo nakita yung lupa? Kasi na 8 months to look for land, 4 months to work on the permit. Kailan mo nakita yung lupa? Sabi niya, around July of 1997. Does that sound familiar? July? Ano yung July? Ha? Hindi narinig ko yung boses. Apparently, nung narinig ko yung boses, pinakita na ni God sa kanya. And then, pinatrabaho niya. Tinabaho niya, tapos bibigyan niya lang sa akin. So, may lupa. Walang pera. Saan kukuha ng pera? I remember yung brother ni Pichi who lived in the US in 1996, he came home, binibenta nila yung factory, yung land ng factory sa Pasig. Sabi nila, nag-appreciate na siya, pag binenta natin to, magnegosyo na tayo lahat. Hati-hati na. Natapos 1996. The economy was good. This time it was 1998. Everybody was selling, nobody was buying. At sabi ko kay Pichi, subukan natin pamilya mo. Pero of course, si Pichi immediately reacted. Hard times. Ibang umutang ka, tapos bunso, mapipresyo yun, tutulong sa anak nila. Sabi niya, nakakaya ngayon. So sabi ko sa kanya, babes, I just want to know kung atin to. Kung hindi sila, ibig sabihin, we're not from Bukidnon. Subok lang. Pero nahiya rin ako noon. Di ba, nakakahiya naman. So, dumating yung Sunday. We offered, can you explain to you anong gusto namin gawin sa Bukidnon? Alam niyo, Sunday na sinasabi ko, ilalabas yung mani, ilalabas yung di ba? Yun, no? So, after lunch, present ako. Naka-PowerPoint ako noon eh. Di ba? Di ba? Pero ito yung gist ng presentation ko. Parang summary ng presentation. Parang sinasabi ko sa kanya, yung bunso ho niyong anak, yung paborito niyo, gusto ko sana dalhin sa Mindanao. Conflict place ang Mindanao. No? Gusto ko hong dalhin sa Mindanao. Tapos gusto ko namin palaki ng baboy. Pwede ko bang pautang? Di ba? Ganda na ating presentation, di ba? Parang sigurado to. Matutuwa to, di ba? Yung bunsong anak, dadalhin sa Mindanao. Tapos yung sanay sa marangyang buhay, ipapababoy ko, di ba? Pababoy. Pwede pa ho pautang. So, syempre, in-expect ko na, hindi, di ba? I just wanted to try. Ang nagsalita nanay niya, sabi ng nanay niya, ngayon nangaintindihan ko na. Bakit yung pastor na bumibisita dito for 1 year, ang tinuro lang sa amin si Abraham. Hindi ko alam paano niya nang pahaba yung Abraham. Pero for 1 year, yun lang daw pinag-uusapan nila. Tapos sabi ng nanay niya, kasi aalis ang anak. Can you imagine? Diba? So, hindi nagalit yung nanay niya. Kasi sa paborito, hindi nag-object. Diba, babe?
Yung paborito, ewan ko.
Kwan eh. Kadsuwa ile. Pero paborito kasi bating hinahanap. Di ba? Hinahanap. Di ba? But anyway, di yun na. Tapos sabi ng kapatid na babae, nagpapatakbo ng kumpanya. We don't have that money, 13 million. But we have half. Papahiram namin sa inyo. Nasyak ako. Kasi saan galing yung pera nila? Sinisip ko may bahay naman eh. I will sell the house to complete the farm. So hindi ako nagtanong. Pero feeling ko, alam mo, parang meron ako out of body experience. Nanonood ako ng sine. Yung nanay pumayag, yung kapatid. Parang paano nangyari ito? Pero happy ako, hindi na ako nagtanong. And then we started to talk, anong gagawin, yung mga ganyan-ganyan. Hindi ako nagtanong. A few years after, sabi nung okay na, settle down na, sabi nung kapatid ni Pichi, yung eldest, sabi niya, you want to know kung saan galing yung pera? Sabi ko, syempre, okay na di ba? Sabi niya, bago kayo dumating, ang dami naming benta. Yung negosyo nila, Valleyfold, alam mo, foldable partitions, hotel, restaurant, yun yung negosyo nila. Sabi nila, before you came, ang daming order, million. Tapos lahat nag-offer ng 50% down. Hindi namin alam anong gagawin sa pera. And then dumating eh. Now, most people would say, grabe ang faith mo, no? Grabe ang leap of faith mo. And I always have to tell them, I did not leap in faith. I was so scared, I'd walk in faith. I like explaining this because karamihan ng Kristiyano would say, Lord, tatalo na ako, saluin mo ko, And we feel that since God is powerful, you can catch me. Diba? Tapos minsan tutuloy kayo, wala pang blessing. Ako, I started to understand that God is Father. May tanong ko sa inyo, Ed. Pag yung anak mo pupunta sa isang lugar, sabi mo, bahala ka. Ano magagawin mo? Hindi, di ba? Ito ang tatay. Ang tatay mauna sa lugar. Maghahanap ng mag-aalaga sa anak niya. Ang hari, kung boss tayo, may tao ka, punta sa lugar, ito baon ba? Pagkasyahin mo. Saka na, when you call for help, I'll send you more money. Pero ang tatay, hindi. Hindi ka pa nga doon, papadalan ka na ng blessing eh. Tapos ayusin niya na yun. So yung storya namin, para bang for the land, may blines siya. And then binigay sa amin yung lupa. Ito, may blines siya. Binigay sa amin yung pera. So ganun ako, I did not live in faith, I walked in faith. So, alam nyo kami, because the money was there, the land was there, we signed the deed of sale, April 30, 1998. Now, ano April 30? The last day of the 4 months. Sabi ko kay God, baka in 4 months. So, hinayos niya, para lang sabihin niya sa akin, I'm answering you. We signed the deed of sale on April 30. We started to construct June 1. Bakit June 1? Kasi may contractor na, may supplier na, may plano na. Yung dating inayos niya yun. Kami na lang ang mag-i-implement. Binigyan kami ng contractor, ng supplier. Di, buo na kagad. So in 1 month, build kami. And we decided, kasi wala kaming pera, si Pichi would stay sa Manila and pinak niya lahat ng bagay. Lahat yan pinak niya on her own. Wala kaming pera for movers eh. Ako naman, I was going back and forth. And it was so lonely. And ang bahay ko noon yung kotse, I had this Suzuki Vitara. Nakikitira ako sa Del Monte to stay. And then uwi ako after 3 weeks. Kasi nababaliw ako, wala akong kausap. Pero I was building. So ganon na yun. Pero we were building already. Pero kulang yung pera. Hindi talaga magkakasya. So anyway, may couples retreat na naman ng CCF. October, sabi nila sa akin, o sige, tulong ka ulit. So sabi ko kay Pichi Base, pag pumunta tayo sa bukid noon, ayaw na kita uwi. Ang lungkot eh. Hindi na tayo babalik. So sabi niya, paano yung bahay? Kasi yun ang pangkompleto ng farm eh. Paano yung bahay? Sabi ko, ang dami ko na nakitang mirakulo. God will sell the house. So yung, I think October 9 ang couple seminar na sabi ko dapat andun tayo October 5. So ginawa ko, uwi ako 3rd week ng September. Okay? Kasi I was expectant, God will sell the house. Pero wala talagang inquiry. Walang inquiry. Wala talaga. Meron lang isa, I'll explain that to you mamaya. So when we were waiting for people to buy the house, inad namin yan, wala talaga. May dumating kami kaibigan, sabi niya, ba't wala pa bang nag-i-inquire sa'yo? Patingin nga ng sign mo sa bahay mo. So meron akong sign sa harap ng gate, ganyan kalaki, house for sale. So sabi ng kaibigan ko, ano ang binibenta mo? Bahay o ice candy? Diba? I remember, sabi ko pa sa kanya, I was very confident, sabi ko pa sa kanya, it is not the size of my sign. It is the size of my God. Pero wala talagang inquiry. The only inquiry we had was, kung ito yung aming subdivision, may andyan yung gate, merong kalye sa likod ng bahay namin, ganyan, to another gate. Meron parang extension yung subdivision. Yung kalye na yun, maraming nakatira doon. Isa doon, nag-inquire sa bahay namin, nag-inquire lang, binibenta ba yan? Pero yun lang yun. Hindi niya kita yung sign. Yun lang yun. Pagdating nung Sunday before we have to leave October 5, that is a Friday. Nung Sunday, sabi ko kay Peachy, sabi ko, alam mo babes, God has always gone before us. I've never challenged God. Pero hindi na tayo makakita sa bukid nun. Andito na itong lupa na to, nagsisimula na yung piggery, hindi na to pwede umatras. Pang bukid na talaga tayo. Pero the only issue is, paano niya ibibenta yung bahay. Kaya sabi ko kay Peachy, sabi ko, I think we need to take a step of faith. This time, we need to take a step of faith. So sabi lang niya sa akin, yun ang impression ni God sa akin, the Red Sea. The Red Sea. Hindi ko naintindihan ano yung Red Sea na yan. Pero yun ang impression sa kanya. So we agreed. Monday, we booked for a container van na darating on Friday. So we will load. Whether mabentang bahay o hindi. Pero pagdating ng Wednesday, I got so desperate. Alam mo, huminto na yung construction sa farm. Wala na akong pera. Pabalik tayo sa bukid noon, tapos walang mangyayari. So pinuntahan ko yung nagtanong. Sabi ko, do you want to buy the house? Umuo siya. Siyempre, inoferan kanya ng barat talaga. In my desperation, I said yes. That was a Wednesday. So sabi niya, sige, kasuhin mo yung titulo. Throughout the day, kung kasama kami ni Peachy sa munisipyo, wala kaming case. May mali dito. So that evening, I said, may mali o. Pasensya no, kaya hindi ko kayang gawin. Sabi niya, paano mo bibenta yung bahay? Sabi ko, si God na ko bahala doon. So, dumating na yung Friday. Walang buyer. Pero yung container van, hindi pinayagan pumasok ng subdivision. So the container van had to park doon sa kalye, doon sa likod, andun siya. So para maglipat kami, dadaanan namin yung bahay. So I took one chair, punta ako sa container van. After that, hindi na ako nakita ni Peachy. In fact, nagalit siya sa akin, hindi daw ako tumulong. Kasi kinausap ako nung tao. Pag-usapan natin yung bahay nyo, yung ganyan. Sabi niya sa akin, ano ba talaga gusto mo sa bahay mo? Dito sabi ko, ito yung gusto ko. It was not the rate I want, but it was lower, but it was enough. Ito yung gusto ko, mauwi sa Bukidnon. Sabi ko, ayoko ko magbayad ng capital gain. Gusto ko yung bibili ng magbabayad. Kasi gusto ko ito uwi ko. Tapos ayoko may magsisinungaling sa deed of sale. Kung ano pinag-usapan, yan yun. Kasi ito sabi ko, gusto ko cash. Kayabang no? Gusto ko cash. Na, usap-usap kami, mga ganyan. Hindi ko pwede yung sa titulo, iba na lang, yung zonal value, mga sabi, ayoko, ganyan. Sabi niya, okay, payag ako. Isa ako, payag siya cash. Walang may cash na tao nun. Then I learned more about him. He was a businessman. Na yung pera niya pinapaikot niya. Hindi siya bumibili ng bahay kasi sayang yung pera sa bahay, nakatali. However, he really liked the house. Parang feeling niya, gusto niya yung bahay. The first house na binili niya. So may cash siya. Siguro siya lang yung konting tao may cash during the time. So inayos namin yung dokumento on that Friday, pero hindi kami natapos. So we have to leave on a Monday. We have to change our flight. That Monday, binigyan niya ako ng manager's check. And then, I remember we were still sa bahay, may pumasok ng mga assessors. Sabi ko, ano ginagawa niyo? Yung bago hong may-ari, pinapa-assess yung bahay kasi iutang ko daw niya para mapaikot niya yung pera. So sabi niya, weird ho yung bumili ng bahay niya. Sabi ko, bakit naman? Hindi pa rin daw ko niya maintindihan ba't niya binili bahay niya. Pero in my mind, sinabihan siya ni God. So that's my story. Yung story ko, God has always been, giving me na hindi ko pinagtrabahuan. So pagdating namin dito, para to just also prove to you, the house, I did not work for this. Finally, 4 years after, the property was sold. And so we had money for the house. So this is inheritance. Hindi ko to pinagtrabahuan. And I'm a person, hindi siguro, I'm a person who really owns nothing. Kasi wala talaga akong pinagtrabahuan. Nagkaroon ako ng farm, hindi ko pinagtrabahuan. Nagkaroon kami ng bahay, hindi ko pinagtrabahuan. That's the reason ang lakas ng stewardship idea ko. Kasi never ko siya pinagtrabahuan. In fact, itong bahay na to, I felt so insecure, inaway ko misis ko. Can you imagine, nagkaroon na kami ng bahay, inaway ko pang misis ko. Kasi, feeling ko, never ko siya nabigyan ng bahay. Di ba joy ng lalaki, magbigyan ng bahay, misis niya, di ba? Pero lahat ko galing sa pamilya nila. So, nag-ahaway kami for a while. I was so insecure. Until I felt God telling me one morning, sabi niya, ikaw naman pinaalaga ko. I bless someone else para paalagaan mo. Amazing. He would bless some people para ibigay sa akin. And that's the reason I teach you. Kung kaya gawin sa akin ni God, ba't hindi niya kaya gawin sa inyo? Di ba? Because I'm really not special. Okay, I'm really not a special person. Hindi ako bright. I'm very simple. Therefore, God to do this, if I ask God, bakit ako? Alam mo, wala akong makita. Except for my quiet time. Anong quiet time? Even before we moved here, I would fight for my quiet time. I remember, pumunta akong US, 3 days ako doon, takbo ako Singapore kasi may meeting. So grabe jet lag yan. Pagdating ko sa hotel, 2 o'clock, tulog ako 4, meeting kami 8, gising ako 6. Magka-quiet time ako. And then, I would obey the Lord. Kaya importante sa akin obedience. Kasi andun yung blessing. So pagdating namin dito, akala ko we were here for the piggery. Because we became one of the best growers. Tapos mamaya, we stumbled on the lettuce. Akala ko lettuce. Kasi we became the biggest supplier of McDonald's. And our place is very unique. I'll explain that to you tomorrow. And then, when all these things happen, ito na, may dumating, nagpapaturo, paano namin ginagawa. So, wala sa plano si Mila, but it was born only because people started to ask. And now we teach. I really believe we are here for si Mila. And all of this are stories. Sabi ko sa inyo, I told you already, di ba? My product is not the pigs and the vegetable. My product is the story. All of these are props. Props. Ano ibig sabihin props? Kasi imagine, naka-container van kami. Sino maniniwala sa akin successful ako? So, nandito yung bahay, dami namin bisita. Tanong sila ng tanong, ano alam mo? Hindi nila alam. Hindi akin yung bahay. Ngayon, ganon, God gave me credibility. People started to ask. And then, si Milia. I really believe I am here because of si Milia. Now, some of you were invited here. And akala nyo, pumunta kayo dito. And ang belief ko, hindi kayo ang pumunta dito. Because there's a verse nga na sinabi ni Pao, I write that in my books, this John 15:16, he said, you did not choose me. I chose you, that you may bear fruit. So you are here for a special reason. Ako, taga-alaga lang kami ninyo. I don't know ano ang plano ni God sa inyo. I really don't. Pero may plano yan. So people will always ask me, Dong, gaano karaming estudyante mo ang nag-succeed? Ano ang hit rate mo? Sabi ko, 0 and 100. Yung nag-obey, sigurado. Yung ayaw mag-obey, talagang wala. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Di ba? You now all have this principle. It's your choice whether you leave it out or not. Pero alam ko, may plano na sa inyo si God. Taga-kwento lang kami. So you are here for that reason. Kami, we are here for Similia to tell you all these stories. Okay? So yan ang rason ba't kami. Okay? So tapos na.